I love you versus I lust you. That is the thought for this video. That is the title that came when making this video or when this idea came. I love you versus I lust you. Two things that are very important in our lives as men, regardless of gender. But as always, I'm a guy. We're men. We see the world through that lens. I love you versus I lust you. What are the difference? What will I love you bring versus what will I lust you bring? What will happen to the partner, to your partner, if you are with them because you love them versus being with your partner because you lusted after them and somehow you ended up in a relationship or somehow you ended up in some sort of situationship. Words nowadays, huh? Like the titles. But we go with whatever is in style. So you boys talk about situationships a lot. Hopefully this speaks a little bit on that. Love and lust. Love, we give. We're like servants. We serve. We want to make everything better for the people, the person, the things that we love. Don't be afraid to love. We're obviously not afraid to lust. We're definitely not afraid to fall into lust. So why when it comes to love, that's where we kind of draw the line. When it comes to chasing versus courting versus pursuing versus admiring, for love, when you love someone, when you want to give love to someone, you admire them. You admire them, and so therefore you want to better yourself, you want to better your situation so you can attract them in to your life, into your world. And that comes with courting, right? So we court someone when it comes to dating. With lust, it's simply just chasing. It's chasing, and the difference that I tell you boys is that for me, when you chase someone, you're just chasing without a plan, and then once you get to the person, to the thing, once you acquire what it is that you were chasing after, then that's where you're like, oh shit, I chased, now I'm here, how do I go about it? Versus when you're courting, when you're pursuing someone, when you want someone to be attracted to you, you're doing things with a purpose and with a plan, so that when you get to where you're going, when you get to the person, when you acquire the thing that you were pursuing, you know what comes next because it was planned out. It was with a purpose rather than doing something without a purpose. So with love, when you love someone, when you want to love someone, that's how you'll know the difference, that you'll want to better yourself so that you can attract. And remember, we attract, we don't chase. Hashtag sassy. It's not sassy, and nothing to explain to anyone else, just my fake population, you fake people that I make up. As long as you guys understand what I'm on and you guys see the results and you guys buy in, then you guys will see. So we attract, we don't chase, because with lust, that's what it makes us do. It makes us chase. Love makes us want to court, want to attract, want to pursue with a purpose. The other thing that comes from love is that your emotions are there. So one of the things that we talk about, logic, your mind, your brain, right? Logic, black and white thinking, right here. Your other brain, your other you, feelings, emotions, the good stuff, the gray area. With love, when you want to love someone, when you are loving someone, you understand that the emotions are what you want to go based on. Versus chase, for chase I wrote it's more of that logic, body sensation. Because when we lust after someone, when we fall into lust for someone, all we want is instant gratification. All we want is, and just nothing else, right? As in like, I lust this person. I lust this person because I look at their body, because I objectify, because I find them with sexual interest. And that's the only thing. So therefore, my emotions, and I'm gonna ignore them, and I'm gonna just go with my logic with both heads. And it takes away from that actual genuine connection of wanting to know someone. For feelings, for emotions, when you feel them for someone, you want to get to know them. Versus with logic, with just like, I lust you and that's all I want just because I lust you. Nothing of that, right? It's like, no, like, don't become emotionally available for me because I don't want that, or I'm not going to become emotionally available for you. And then what follows up with that is with love, because of emotions, because of feelings, because of being genuine about the connection, you want to build with them. You want to just surround everything in your life, like obviously for you, your higher self, for God, but because you understand that the result of that will mean that it will be a better situation. You will be a better person for the person that you love, that you're falling in love with, versus someone that you lusted over, someone that you lust over still, someone that you just, I want this person just for that instant gratification, and that's that. It's almost like you become stuck. And we have not talked about this. You get into situationships, you get into relationships, and you're like, holy shit, how the fuck did I get stuck in a relationship with this person? Or you get into a relationship, and because you're like lusting, after a while, like, it wears off in a sense, and you're like, damn, I didn't really think about it fully. I am stuck with this person. Versus knowing that you want to build, and when you actually want to be purposely stuck with that person, that's when you know it's love. The other big one, this is a big one, and I think this is the main one why we had the conversations and why the idea came, and why now I am uploading this thought onto the channel. Love versus lust. My girl, I want to know everything about her. I want to control her. All these things that come from having feelings, again, whether love or lust, but having something for someone. Jealousy. With love, I wrote that you won't worry about the freedom that your partner has. And that is because you will lead the right way. When you fall in love, and when you give love, and on top of that you work on yourself, and just know that everything is going to happen because you're putting in work, because you know that you're making it happen with God's help, at least for me always. Then you'll know that you'll be a good leader to lead. And you'll lead your partner in a correct way, in a right way. And then, once you do that, because you're leading in a good way, you will allow your partner to have freedom, for your partner to experiment, for your partner to experience, for your partner to just live their life. Obviously, I cannot guarantee you, boys, that if you do this, if you lead and do everything, that your partner will not leave or do something that you can't control. But prior to picking your partner. So right now we're talking about like if we haven't even chosen a partner, although I understand that some of you are already on the other step, which is already working on the relationship because you already chose the partner. But and if you're on that step, what I tell you, it's always possible. You can always begin. But again, taking it from like not even having a partner yet, work on yourself so that you understand that when you do attract a partner, freedom versus control won't even be a thing, because you'll know that you did the work. You'll know that because you did the work, you surrounded yourself with good qualities, and therefore you attracted a person that spoke to what you wanted, to the values that you demonstrate to others. And you'll be able to lead and let your partner just be free. Also, a little bit of maybe ego. Boys, if you have a partner and you commit to the partner and you're like, I'm all in, and the worst case scenario, it ends up not working out, as a guy, is that really your loss? Is that really your, especially if you guys are doing the work, especially if you guys have your purpose in mind, if you have your guys' end goals in mind and understand that you guys will get there, and understand that throughout the process, these little things are just part of the process, but it doesn't move you away from wherever it is that you're headed in life, it is never a loss. If anything, it's like, cool, I thought this was the person, nothing, okay. I'm going to keep working on myself. I'm going to keep doing my thing because nothing changes. And while I do this, life, the universe, my higher self, God, will allow me to work on myself even more, and then continue to attract another one, until you get to choose the partner you want. When I say attract, I'm not saying you're sleeping with everyone that you attract. You're just aware that you're attracting and that you as a guy have options too. With lust, you'll want to control everything about your partner. When you lust after your partner, when you lust after someone, and you get with someone because of lust, you get in a situationship, you get into a relationship, but because that initial attraction, that initial wanting to get to have this person began because of lust, at that point you will want to control everything about your partner. Why? Because you'll be insecure, because you went about it the lust route versus the love route. And as corny as it sounds, as corny as it is, and as opposite of what Red Pill tells you or what other men tell you, and before I continue on that, remember, even if it's me, even if it's the most popular person, whatever creator, whatever person, whatever thing is trying to tell you something or sell you something, and because you see that everyone else is falling into it, does not mean that you also have to, or does not mean that that is the absolute truth. Does that make sense, boys? So regardless, even if it's me, whoever it is, but you come to your own conclusion. Even after going over this video, be like, am I lusting? Am I loving? Do I agree with that? Do I have my own definition of what lust over what love is? You guys come to that conclusion. So as corny as it sounds, that I'm like, oh, like, you know, like, let's love, let's not be lusting, let's be the nice guy. And that's what makes me, the nice guy is always a weak person. But when I talk about being nice, I'm talking about just being super confident with yourself, that you decide to be nice to people because you know that you'll always come on top, because you'll know that no matter what happens, every L that comes into your life is just a lesson, and you never take it as a loss. So to me, that's the nice guy. The nice guy that girls talk about and all that, yeah, I see it. It's those, a simp It's someone that is just weak, that it doesn't have so much confidence in themselves. Someone that isn't confident, someone that is weak. And if you feel that that's you, that's fine too, because it's our first time experiencing the world, and because just because we are the nice guys at some point doesn't mean that it's always that way, or that it should always be that way. But understand that it is not going from nice guy to like dog to asshole to whatever red pill tells you. It's just simply going from nice guy of being like naive, being like weak, versus nice guy as in like this guy super confident, knows what he has going on in life, and he knows that his belief system will never leave him. And because of that, he chooses to be a nice person to people, to girls. Again, as corny as it sounds, the love route, to me, always wins. Always. So, check yourself in regards to the dating scene. When I see someone, am I seeing this person, or am I being attracted to this person because I instantly went to lust, or because I instantly went to feelings, to love, to the good emotions? And like you cannot lie to yourself about it. You can lie to others, but to yourself, you can't. Example. The other day I went a Target run. I saw this lady, this pretty female, pretty. But I instantly caught myself, and I'm like, dude, you're like, it's not that you notice that you're like, whoa, like I can see myself like pursuing, bringing this person into my world and having a family, having a relationship and all that, right? So those thoughts didn't cross. It was the other thoughts. Lust is hard. It's hard. A little bit of that ego. She made it very well known, and I'm very like cautious about knowing, or like, oh, this girl wants me to choose on her, like, oh, this girl's like making it easy for me to approach her. I'm very, very cautious about that, because I don't like to assume. If anything, I always assume that everyone's just being nice to me just because they're being nice. And sometimes that is the case, but other times, even when I'm with friends, or like even with my sister, they'll be like, oh, you didn't pick up on that? You notice that? So with this person, they became... I noticed that they started appearing around the area where I was at, and then I would move, and then I tested it. I like moved on purpose to an area where I would never be shopping at, and that I was almost certain that another person would maybe not go towards. I was in the aisles, somehow, from all the way around the store, right? I went, and then all the way around the store, sure enough, at one point, she, eye contact, all that, everything was there in the sense for me to get at this person, to get at this female. And whether I chose love or lust, she wouldn't have known. Girls, keep that in mind, because it is scary being approached by a guy, and a guy selling you all these things, and then not knowing that his initial reaction or his initial thinking was lust instead of love. So just keep an eye on that if you're a girl. And for guys, keep it in check too. I saw that it was lust. I knew I could have easily went up to her, gotten her number. Whether anything else happened or not, I don't know. But for sure, I knew I could have gotten her number. Did I go and do that? I didn't. Because I caught myself. I'm like, it's not love, dude. It's not emotions. You do not see yourself forming something with this person. You see yourself taking this person out on a date. You see yourself doing things with this person, but you don't see yourself taking this person serious. And so why waste that person's time, and why waste your own time? And then on top of that, I have a belief from ego that the more you reject females approaching you, the more you reject females throwing themselves at you, And it will happen to you, boys. Some of you guys have experienced it. Others, just keep doing the work and you'll see that that does happen. And that's what is annoying, because it does happen. Girls do that, just to the right guys. But my belief is that the more I reject when I am being honest with myself, the prettier they become, the more prepared the partner will eventually come. And then at some point, God will make it very obvious to me, and I'll know when I'm like, holy shit, I don't even want to think about you in that type of way, because I respect you. I want to give you love so much. I love you so much that the first thought is build, rather than chase, rather than just wanting to have it for a short time and then feel stuck if I stay with them for long. That is my example of how I kind of check myself when it comes to love and lust, and when it comes to me being out in society, being a guy. Other than that, boys, you guys are doing well. You guys are doing amazing, because love the dating scene from a young age to experience it and go about it with no guidance. You guys will learn, and it'll shape you. Every experience you have in regards to the opposite gender, in regards to dating, in regards to love, will shape you and will build you guys up even stronger. So don't shy away from feelings. Don't shy away from love.